What's up? What's up? You see, it's all snowed up out there, and I'm really cold. Well, you can see I got my orange sweater. Oh my gosh, it's cold. Let me sit down, cause I can't hold this phone for long. All right, let's go right here. Oh, where are we gonna put this? We don't got a book today. How about let's try the garbage can. Will you help me out, garbage can? Look at that. Improvising. All right, here we go. It is cold, so let me tell you about my fit. I got on skin t-shirt. I got on my one sweater jacket. I got on this orange one. Got on my coat. Got on my sweatpants. Got on some blue jeans from high school that are like 18 sizes too big. But where I failed, I just have on regular shoes with one pair of socks, so my toes are cold. But it seems when I'm not walking, it doesn't bother me so much. So let's see if I can get through this before I get frostbite. But yeah, man, it snowed. I'm in Pennsylvania, the east side, close to Philly. And I mean, it's nice to get snow. It's not cool driving in it, shoveling it, all that good shit, but you know, it is what it is. Today's video is sponsored by Fiverr. It's a site where you can order random things from random people for affordable prices. It used to be Fiverr as in $5, but now I think they're capped at $5,000 or something, depending. But yeah, just the other day someone reached out to me. They're like, can you make a rap about Felis catus? What the hell is a Felis catus? So I googled it, and it's about feline cat, basically. Maybe it's Latin, whatever. So I just double checked. You want me to rap about this? And I took a picture of a screenshot of a cat. And I'm like, yes, exactly. I'm like, cool. So then I sat down and I just did some researching on some cat stuff, what they do, what they do, And then I started writing. Took a break, and then I wrote the rap. I sent it off. Always fingers crossed, because you know, if someone doesn't like it, I want them to be able to like get a revision. But if you get too many revisions, it gets really frustrating. Like I did a job where the guy's like, "Can you rap about being in the club?" I sent him the track, and the club's like, "I don't smoke or drink." How would I know that? And then I gave him that revision, like, I don't do X, Y, Z. Like, well, you should have specified, but that's partially my fault. You gotta be very clear before you start, otherwise you're gonna have all these revisions, and then ultimately they could be like, nah, I'm not happy with it. But when they work out nice, so for this gig, he's like, yeah, or she, I don't know. They were like, yeah, I love it. Can you do one thing? Reading down, it's like, can you give me the acapella so I could remix it? Like, sure, that's easy. Done. And then this morning I saw that it takes about 2 days for them to like, well, it could be instantaneous, but they got about 3 days to do it, and then it just automatically will go through. And they even gave me a tip, so happy day. Oh, happy day. So this video is brought to you by Fiverr. If you want to support your boy, I'll put a link down there. Get your own custom rap about anything. I got you. And I pride myself on my work. I do. No BS. But yeah, anyway, I'm out here chilling, literally, figuratively, mentally. But it's a nice day, minus the coldness. Yesterday. Let's go back a little bit. Last week, we had a snowstorm, and I shoveled the snow the day before. I didn't really shovel my car out. So then the next day because we had a snow day, right? So the next day when it's time to go to school, I get out there and my car was like spinning in the snow. And my next door neighbor across the street, this lady, I think I said hi to her 2 times in the 2.5 years I've been here. But those 2 times were pretty recent. So she was out there shoveling her car, and then she heard the car like spinning about. So she just comes across the street like, I got you. And she starts like shoveling the snow from my tire. And then my other neighbor so she's across the street, and then the neighbor next door to me, he was out there too. So they both are shoveling out my car. And I'm just like, I don't even know how to take that. Because at least my next door neighbor, I talk to him and be like, hey, how's the weather? Small talk. I don't do small talk. But, I try to, if he's out there, I'll be like, what's up? So they're out there, and then she's like, you should be okay. So then I go, and it's all like, now I would have been okay. I would have just went back, forward, and do the rock away out the thing. But it's only my 2nd year of driving in the snow. I've been in Japan 15 years, But she came back over and she shoveled it out, and then I was able to get out. So I don't got power windows, and I couldn't reach this one, so I had to roll down this one, put her on that side. I'm like, thank you! And I went off to work. But, yeah. Yesterday, or on Thursday, about a week ago, my cousin asked me if I could help him out with this photo booth. He does this thing. He's a DJ, and then he has this photo booth that is there too. I think I talked about it before. But basically, someone is at the photo booth and people come up. It's like a kiosk in a sense, and it's pretty easy to do. It's almost, they could do it themselves, but there's just a couple things where you need someone to be there just so it's consistent, whatever. So I did the job with him 4 times, and then he asked me if I wanted to do it yesterday by myself because he had to do something else. I'm like, sure. So he came by on Friday. He showed me how to set it up, break it down, or Thursday. And he's like, man, I don't even know why I didn't even think of this because you're tech savvy. Like, yeah. But I don't go around like wagging my dick around. You know how people be. I can do this, I can do that. Like, if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. I probably lost a lot of jobs that way. But nevertheless, I know what I know. You see what I got. Go for it. But, so he was pretty confident. And then I mess up things again because that's just what I do. I like to tell my story. So I'm like, yo, one time when I was interning for my professor at Temple, he sent me down to New York. And I had to videotape, what do you call it? It has a name, I can't think of it, but when product testers, so a bunch of housewives were product testing a vacuum cleaner or something, and all I had to do was videotape it. One location, hold the camera, switch the batteries. But I got fancy, so it was on a big tripod, not the little ones that we're used to, but like a studio grade. It ain't gonna go nowhere, kind of on a shoe, and it locks in there. I've never used it, so I take it off so I can get some handheld shots, and I try to put it on, but it won't go on. And I don't want to, because it's rolling. There's no brakes. It was just one straight take, and so I'm holding it, but it's heavy. And then I put it back on there, but it's off. So now when I gave him the footage, like, well, how come the footage is all shaky and da-da-da? I'm like, because I took it off. And he's like, Matthew. But then he hired me again. So on the second job, I was filming some city government, city hall thing or whatever. So I'm like, why don't I use the wireless mic? So I tried to put the wireless mic, but then it had some feedback sound, and again, she's like, can you get rid of this sound? Why is the sound there? And I tried. So I was telling my cousin, he's just like, yeah, you don't gotta do all that. Just set it and forget it. But again, I tell these stories because I want people to know the full, I'm not perfect. these are the things, whatever. But anyway, so I get there. So that was the first issue. Getting there, well, setting up, getting everything. But the issue before that was it started snowing at 3 a.m. last night, or Saturday night. Friday night, yeah, because it was on Saturday. So Friday night, it started snowing. And it said it's going to stop at 8. And this gig is actually, it was in the snow resort. It was a ski thing. So that means I'm going to go into the mountains when it's snowing. So I'm hoping that they cancel it. I wake up, it's like, oh, it's been canceled. But that never came. And I got an email like, here's your contact people, blah, 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 blah. So my dad, he's like all super nervous. He's like, cause I told him yesterday, like, yeah, I'm going to the Poconos. He's like, oh, if it's snowing, you can't go. I'm like, yeah, I got a job to do. So later that night, my dad's like, you know, on the weekends, that's when you're supposed to take me shopping. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, you know, and if you get hurt and if you die, I'm going to go into the grave with you. Now, maybe this sounds like, I guess you could take it two ways. He doesn't want to lose his son, aka his caregiver. He's feeling lonely. He's feeling helpless because he used to drive now. And I guess people say I don't empathize, I don't understand. Okay, that is probably what it was. But the fact is, we can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Even if I come home from work, all the stores are open till 10 o'clock. Today's Sunday, we can go on Sunday. Monday's a holiday, we can go on Monday. Like, it's always this pressure, all this, whatever. But anyway, it is what it was. I already decided I'm going. So I get all the gear, because my cousin dropped all the photo stuff. 4 bags and a little trolley. I was going to leave the trolley because my little compact car, he has a van. He could fit everything in the van. I wasn't sure if I can get the trolley in there. I'm glad I did bring it because I would have to make multiple trips in the cold-ass weather to get to the car, to the venue. But anyway, so in the morning, I'm like, Dad, I'm leaving. And he's just like, be careful. And I'm like, I'll call you when I get to you. Like, don't bother calling me. I'm like, okay. So I put on my navigation and I start driving, and by the time I left, like 11:45, sun's out, kind of looked like this. Shut up, man! Don't you see I'm doing my video? People today don't got no respect for people making a video. But I'm driving. I'm nervous in the sense I've never been to this location. I don't know how the streets are going to be. My image is it's going to be all snowy because it's a mountain and a ski resort. But it was just regular streets. I didn't have any music playing, just the navigation and my thoughts. So I'm driving. And I always get this sickening feeling, like, what if I put in the wrong navigation coordinates? Because that happened last May. I had a photo shoot and they gave me a hotel. I put in the hotel. I'm driving, and I knew it was 2 hours from my house. So I'm driving 2 hours, and then when I get to You Are Here, I'm looking around for said hotel, and I'm like, what? And then I put the coordinates again, and it gives me a new destination, which is 2.5 hours from where I'm currently at. So I call her up, like, she's like, are you here yet? Like, nah, I'm 2.5 hours away. She's like, well, actually, she texts me like, hey, when you get here, let's get breakfast because I'm pretty sure you're hungry. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But then I was 2.5 hours away. She's like, well, don't worry, we check out at 1. Now, the good thing is I left early just so I could have... So I did make it, and I had to use the tolls, some expensive at toll. So I always get that feeling because, you know, I just follow the nav. The nav says take a left at the moon and get on the moon rocket or whatever. I'll be doing that. All right, so anyway, I get there safe and sound. and it's busy and all that shit. Never been to well, I've been once in Japan, but never in America because we weren't that kind of family. But I get up there and it's all crazy. And the first time they tell me to park way on the other side, and I call my the guy I'm supposed to meet up with, and I'm like, yo, they have me all the way over there. He's like, there's a drop off. So I come back around and I see there's all these parked right next to it. So I drop off and then I pick one of the nice spots. Now the second phase, I got to set all this shit up. So I set all this shit up and it was pretty good. The biggest issue I had was I couldn't, well, one, I didn't want to mess around with things too much for my prior knowledge of stuff. I didn't want to mess it up. So it wasn't in focus. I mean, it was a Canon. I use a Sony, so I don't want to be messing up. So I put a little X because I had, there was 2 DJs. So the one DJ was up there and he was standing there. So I focused on him, so it was good. But if you step back too far, then there wasn't enough light. And if you're too close, So I was a little worried. It wasn't super sharp, a little fuzzy at the edges. So there's a strobe, so I bumped that up. But again, I didn't want to play with too many settings because the way he has it, set and forget. It doesn't do much. So finally, everything is set up. I got there at 12 o'clock, and then it would officially begin at 1:30. So setup took like an hour and so, because first time setting up by myself. When my cousin does it, he sets it up, and I'm just there, and then he disappears. The only time I need him is when something goes wrong. But my cousin, anticipating that things could go wrong, he made it almost foolproof. So 1:30 comes, and people are trickling in and out. And the next time I looked down, it was 3 o'clock. Then around 4 o'clock, I was a little hungry, so one of the DJs came over, like, so I indirectly asked. I said, when does the food end? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, you want to get some food? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I got you. So I go down there. I mean, I could have closed it because the other events were Sweet 16s and the Spanish one, the Cientas or whatever you call it, and weddings. So there's like these different times when everyone's eating, and then the DJ and the photo booth guy, they eat. But at a snow resort, it was 1:30 to 7:30. There was no breaks. And I felt nervous because when I was like, turn my back, people come over and start pushing stuff, and I don't want them to break it. So he came over and he's like, yeah, go get some stuff. I go to the bathroom. I get soda and chicken and fries. I swipe my card. I didn't see how much it was. When I get home, $20. $20. I ain't gonna say it was bad, but $20. That was expensive. But I'm eating my $20 chicken and fries and Pepsi. And I come back to the booth and he's just like, no, sit down. So his daughter, she's like 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't know. She's like doing it. She's like pushing the button and the people are coming in. And she's like, you can go again. And then she's like fixing all the props for the people hold when they take their pictures and all that. And then she's asking her dad. So she was the daughter of the DJ. And she's like, you don't have to come. You can just sit there and get paid. I'm like, bless her soul. She don't know how business works. Because people will do that. Have a whole bunch of people sitting there doing the job, and the guy's getting all rich, and they're like, how come they don't get paid? Because you never asked. But you never asked. I almost was going to give her $10, but I didn't, because I didn't. So then around 6 o'clock or 5:30, and then 6 o'clock. And now it's 7 o'clock. I got a half an hour left. There was a black couple. And at one point he looks over like, man, you've been standing on your feet all day. Like, I did sit down for 20 minutes. Like, yeah. He gave me a fist bump. One guy, he gave me $10. Like, it's a free thing. But he came over, he's like, how much it costs? I was like, it's free. He's like, cool. And he came, he took some pictures, and then he gives his son $10 to give to me, and I'm like, thanks. I mean, if I put a tip jar, I'd probably get more money, but I don't know if I'm allowed. So I took it. So then at 7:30, 7:20, people are coming in because now it's the end of the day, and now it's like out there is a ski thing, and I'm inside this warm place. Speaking of, the DJs were outside. So at one point we had they call them squalls. I don't recall them, like a blizzard basically. So when you look out, all you saw was white, and the DJs are out there, and the snow is blowing everywhere, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm inside this building. We had 2 of them, and our phones kept all buzzing, like 20 minutes warning for squall. And I was kind of scared, because if I was driving and you get these whiteout conditions, even if you pull over, people might still crash into you. So I was worried about that, but nothing happened. So then at 7 o'clock, wound down, 7:20, and at 7:29, people are starting to come in. Oh, wow, there's a photo booth. Okay. Are you still open? I'm like, okay. So then they come in and get their pictures. 7:30, more people are coming. Oh, can we still get a picture? I'm like, okay, you're the last one. The people come in, so I turn off the strobe light because it has like I forget, like a modeling light on it. So I turn that off, and then 3 girls come over like, can we still get pictures? I'm like, I turn it back on. So then this guy comes like, can we get pictures? And I'm like, okay, you guys are the last ones. So then he puts $10 on the table. He's like, thank you. So then I take the pictures, and then I'm about to close up, and then these three people come, and she's like, how much is it? I said, it's free, but it closed at 7:30, because now it's like 7:40. And she's like, so the guy who gave me the $10 tip, whatever, I still had it on there, and she's like, so I'm like, okay, you guys are the last ones. And then she's like, what's your Venmo? And I'm like, I don't even, it's like, everyone has a Venmo. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, because I'm still PayPaling it. So they take their pictures, and then I take my phone, I pull up the Venmo app, and then I hand it to her, and she's like, I got you. And then she's like, thank you so much. Again, this is free. And it's just like little pictures, like little, do I have? No, I got it left at home. But, and they're like, thank you so much. And then I turn off the light, and I start super fast breaking it down so anyone who comes in will know that it's over, because I feel bad. I would have went all night for tips. Eventually, I checked my Venmo. She sent me 5. So in total, I made $25 in tips, plus what my cousin's gonna give me. But yeah. So now I have to break down. So I'm breaking down, and then breakdown was pretty good. Don't want to forget anything. And as I said, I'm glad I brought the cart, because it would have been a hike to go from where I was all the way there. So I loaded up the cart. I made 2 trips because the printer is the most delicate, and my cousin was saying that my other cousin who did the job before, he dropped it. And I don't want to be that guy who drops the printer. He has insurance and all that, warranty, but still. So now everything is in the car, and as I said, we had like a mini blizzard, so I had to like scrape the windshields because we're on the mountain. It was really cold. Luckily, I had my little scraper that my dad gave to me. I mean, yeah. But so now I was worried about going home, because I'm anticipating that it's going to be cold and frozen, and so again, no music, just cruising in the dark. People up my ass as always. I go around, checking my navigation, 20 minutes, singing a 20-minute song. Got 20 minutes till I'm back inside my house. Yeah, I sing songs when I'm in the car to keep my mind active. And then as soon as I got on my highway, I turned off the navigation and turned on my last sample flip I did for my Friday flips. This one was a beast. I took some random, I didn't like the sample, but it goes, so when I was playing the chops, it was like, and I thought, oh, that sounds like the Made You Look. Braveheart, made you look. And Jadakiss verses was, ain't never in trouble, dog. When I come in the squad, it's D block, team dogs, and the double R. Don't let me let the machine off. This is metronome. So the hardest part was getting, because I'm using the oldest antique way of flipping vocal samples. I manually put them in there, and I mean, I could probably get it off on Ableton, DJ Pro, DJ. The app would probably let me do it, but apparently now you can't separate the vocals if it's saved into Apple, which is so weird. What the hell? So that was a hard part, but then I just flipped it, and then I did a double flip and then it just goes crazy. I have the drums kind of, and then the second part goes, I need it from the top, and then I boost everything. It's like, it's all like, and yeah, every Friday we play. You guys got to get on this. You make beats, like, it doesn't matter your level. Like, you need to. I don't want to tell people what to do. You do what you do, but I use this as a chance to hone in on finding my sound, because everyone on this group is talented. They do what they do. So how can I stand out when everyone is doing what they do? So for 2024, I do double flip. So I have the sample doing A, and then halfway point, because you get 2 minutes, I have the sample doing B, or maybe a nice intro, or I break it down. Something to say, okay, Ryman's doing what Ryman does. So this time I have an iPad, a 9-inch iPad, and I put all these apps on it to fill up the real estate. So when I played it, the video came, they're like, wow, what is that screen he's using? Because you never know how big the iPads look until you got all these apps. I mean, they're resizable, so it's not like it was a full size, but it just looked like massive how I could fit all these. I had four apps all squeezed into the thing. But so I was listening to that when I went home, and I'll probably listen to it when I walk back home. But yeah, and then I came home and I ate, and I saw that I paid $20 for the chicken and fried. $20, that shit. But it was good, and I guess, you know, you're at a resort. I should have got a voucher when I was a photo guy. One of the highlights of being a photo guy, at one point, these two guys came. They took a picture, and they came back, and they're just like, we want you in the picture. And when I do photo guy stuff, you know, I shave, and I'm looking all fresh and all that. Nice, shiny, bald head. Yo, if you're bald, tell me how you go about it, because I got a little razor, and I shave and all that, but it's just so tedious. I'd rather not. If I could just, like, dip my head in acid, not acid, but something that I never have to shave again, because it ain't growing. I'm bald, so what's the point? I just rather have it always shiny bald, looking like all the black people I see on TV. I don't know what they look like when they go home, but I don't like shaving every day. I don't. That's my little rant. So you tell me, because it's just weird, man. It's just, anyway, and paying for it, that's like $40 where I go. I don't pay no $40 to shave every week. I would have to $120 every week to look fly. I'm not there yet. Get a living barber. Anyway, I digress. But I was looking fly, and they're like, we want you in a picture. So I'm in the middle just doing whatever, and they're like, wow, you make us look cool, man. Yeah, we could say we're getting the girls, man. They had all that. I don't be getting no girls, man. I do not. I did, but not now. Because I'm here, like, there ain't no girls anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Women. I'm going to change that. I don't know how, though. According to my therapist, she's, oh, Matthew, you're such a handsome and intelligent guy. I think you're intelligent. Be yourself, Matthew. Do you even know? I'm the guy to tell someone, and I could run off things I did in the past. I don't. But I remember I met this one girl. We went on a date, and she said something to the extent, oh, you got a Rolex? You're materialistic. And then that is like, how dare you tell me I'm materialistic? You got on Adidas shoes. You got on Nike this. How you going to... I went off on her, which no points. We were fighting. It was a bowling thing with the school. So we started fighting from that bus ride to the school. And then I said, all right, let's stop this. But it wasn't I doing it because I'm a bigger person. It's because I was reading books and I was thinking about the future. Like, if I don't do something, this is going to keep going because I know how I am. And I always tell that to my therapist. And she's like, well, Matthew. And last week, we got into this thing. I was just like, I can't forget how it was phrased. But I said, you know, people are saying this. And she's like, well, I would know. I'm a professional. This is what I kind of do. But I don't think that matters. I think, yeah, she's a professional, but it can't apply. Because she always hits me with this one. It can't be for everyone. I mean, we go back and forth on some dumb shit. At some points, not everyone. So I'll be like, yeah, everyone thinks everyone thinks, I didn't mean it that way. Well, not. And other times she'll say, but we're all unique. Yeah, we're all unique, but we all die. I use that one. Yeah, we're all going to die, which means we're all the same. And if I got deep into some of Nietzsche, I believe he goes deep into this concept, morality and death and all that. But as I always say, I'm not there to argue with the therapist. But, yeah. Anything else of importance? Oh yeah, okay, I put this at the end. So last week I did the video about my top 10 things that scared me the most about being in Japan. Last Wednesday, I went to my brother's house and we played chess, which is monumental in the sense that we don't do anything together. We don't go to the movies. We don't do much. It's always been that way. At best, I might go with him if he's driving somewhere. He's like, you want to come with me? And, not really, but we go and then we talk up, and we go come down and talk down, but we don't really do stuff. So this is, you know, something. I've only played 4 people in chess. The kid's mom, one of my students, and my brother. So only 4 games. I use an app. I play that, but it has the undos, which I use. Like, let me undo that. And I could win. So the game was quiet. Not a sound could be heard. Not a mouse or a house. And I kept stepping into, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. And then it got to the end where I would move this, and there's his, I don't even know what you call these pieces. But the guy who can go from one side to the other. And then he had the guy that could go diagonal. So he kept pinning my king. I had to sacrifice my queen, but it just kept happening, and eventually it was in a checkmate. I couldn't move anywhere I moved, but I seen the checkmate before my brother did. Like, yeah, I'm out. But I don't know. Because I went to the store and I saw, like, I was going to read some books on chess or whatever, but those books are thick and it's mostly memorizing different sequences and patterns. And I don't play enough to really care, you know. It's like the Rubik's Cube. I could solve it. I solved it, and now it's like, whatever. But at the end, my brother said something, you know, we're talking this and that, and he's like, you know, If you can go back and change something, what would you change? And I really hate this question, because we are who we are because of what has happened. Change anything, you're no longer who you are. You can't be in your current state of mind trying to change something in the past and thinking you're still going to be the same person. You would be different. For example, let's say I started selling drugs when I was younger. That way I was always fly and I had money and I'm all like whatever. Maybe my lyrics would have a more relatable aspect to it. Because right now all my raps sound like, I go to the club at night and drink Sprite. I'm looking at shorty thinking she is my wife. I mean, it sounds like that. Not as corny, but sometimes it does have a tinge of cringe to it. Because it's just so, I don't know. And this is me talking about me. Don't you talk about me. But if I was living the lifestyle, then it might have been, motherfucker step up and I cut him with the 9 milli, make his head shine, blood splattered all over the wall, get his children and wife, the cops coming, everybody killed, drop my gun, get it. This might sound like that. And that might be relatable, like, man, that guy is hard. And then maybe some people step up, yo, da da da. But I wouldn't be this guy smiling and talking about the things I talk about. Different person. Basically, butterfly effect. I love that concept. You change one little thing and everything's gonna change. So what is the point of even entertaining those things? I think people do this because they discount the circumstances of what is. The reason I got this yellow, bright orange thing, right, that's extra warm, is because my dad was complaining that I'm always wearing black, which is true. I got colored shirts, but I wear a jacket over it. So I brought this bright orange, like super bright, so he could be like, oh, I can see her now. But when I came in the house with my bright jacket, my dad didn't say A or B, or C or D, or E, F, G. So I haven't used it. But now, since I have it, I can wear it, and now I'm warm. If I changed that aspect, I'd be one jacket down. I wouldn't have that little bit to say in this story. So, I just, you gotta take, like, you make your bed, sleep in it. You know, you make your bed. But if, and then we already played chess, and then I had to get back because my dad would be like, "Where have you been?" I already told him where I've been, but you know, whatever. My brother's like, if you could change anything, what would you change? And I want to qualify it. But what do you mean? Maybe I want to come back as a bear, hibernating. Or maybe I want to come back as a slave. I don't know if I want to be a slave. Maybe I could be the Carver, be the first peanut guy, so I get a stamp. Or maybe I want to come back in the future. Now, when I start going off on these tangents, like, that's not what I meant. Well, if we're going to break the laws of time, space, continuums, then let's have fun with it. But we didn't get there. But I did think this would make a good topic, and I'm going to stick it at the end. So, the 7 things I would have changed if I went back to Japan again. Although, as I'm saying, anything would have changed. Everything would have changed, but we'll get into it. All right, so in no particular order, but the top 3 are probably the top 3. All right, learning Japanese. Now, if I would have learned Japanese, everything would have changed. I would have I probably wouldn't be rhyming gaijin if I was speaking fluent Japanese. The whole thing was a kind of a joke of a name. It would probably be some Bushido Samurai, some bullshit like that. You know how people do when they speak Japanese. They be all like, all deep in it. But the next one, I wouldn't have sold my Rolex. It was inevitable because my management of my finances all bad. So I needed the money to pay for my visa taxes and all that bullshit. But I did what I had to do, and life went on. Next one, I would have been more prolific with putting stuff out, because after the fact, when I'm like, last week I was listening to all my songs, and I just, because there was times when I stopped, I just should have kept pushing and pushing and pushing my product, getting it out there, because, you know, there wasn't so many people doing it. I had the element of surprise, that blue ocean thing going on. Number four, I should have went to Australia. Again, things would have changed if I did. But at one point, I was invited to go to Australia, and I didn't, because I was just being a Matthew. So I stayed in Japan instead of going to Australia for Christmas. And things changed because of that. It is what that was. Where are we at? 7, 6, 5, 4. I think this is 4. I would have started paying my pension, and I would have been on the, you say that, that's why I'm putting this one. My pension and my what do you call it? What the hell is it called? The national insurance, health insurance. So that way, after that 10, 12, 14 year mark, I could have applied for my permanent visa or resident visa, RA, and been chilling, and had like I can go to Japan anytime I want. And now I can't. I gotta like just get a little tourist visa. It is what it is. All right. So now we're down to 3. Let's see. During the big earthquake. Oh, I'm gonna put these two together. All right. So during the big earthquake, I lost all my video. I was taking all kinds of video of things that happened during the earthquake, but I lost all of it. Sucks to be me. And then tied to that, the year later, I did the Guinness record thing for the anniversary of said earthquake. I lost that footage too, but when I finished the, what do you call it? When I did the record, I sent the video to Japan. I should have sent it to London or wherever the hell it was, because those were the people I was corresponding with. And if I would have just been, I was impatient. I was like, I want it now. So I just sent it to Shibuya instead of sending it airmail. But most likely when they got it from Japan over to London, they'd be like, oh, Japanese people are very whatever. We respect their, because that's how people think about Japanese people. They would have just sent me over my little certificate, and I would have been flying high. I got the world's Guinness record, yeah. Memories. Instead, I sent it to Japan. They're like, no, because no. But it is what it is. And then I lost all the footage because it died on my hard drives. That was what that was. All right, we're getting down to number 2. Number 2 being, are you ready? Drum roll was still number 2, but I don't know if I'm in order, but it's still number 2 on it. Number 2 would have had B. Number 2 would have had B. So many, but all right, this one, we'll go with this for number 2. So I was I was working with this artist, right? When I went to college, when I studied abroad, I met this artist, and I think I talked about this before. But again, this is, if. So one night we're at the Ruby Room, and at this point we're working together, and I think I just came. No, it was the same. Yeah. So the first time we met, and it was on a whim. We're in Ruby Room, and the guys I was with, shout out to Ben. Ben was like, yo, go talk to her. So I walk over. Hi, I'm Mashu Isho ni he showed me. She's like, okay. And then we started making all these songs together. And then when we would go, it'd be so live because it was, at that point, there wasn't so many duos after the fact. I've seen it all the time, but it was one black guy and one Japanese girl rapping over American music. We would do the, I'm from New York, but she was like, I'm from Japan. Said, I'm a million miles away from home. Yes, I'm in Japan, Japan. There's a million different high-tech phones. There was, until iPhone came. Then there's a million different iPhones. Back then, there was all these different types of high-tech phones. All the girls are so beautiful. That's interesting for me to say, because years later, when one of the subscribers said to me, all the girls in Japan are beautiful. I'm like, the hell they ain't. The apple's in the eye of the beholder. But that was me in that mode. We also remixed Put Your Lighters Up. Wow, did you see that? I wonder if it timed right. I said put your lighters up, my phone dropped. It committed suicide. But yeah. Put your lighters up, Tokyo. Put your lighters up, Osaka. Put your lighters up, Shinjuku. So we're doing all those kinds of songs, and it was just live, and it was a great time, right? So one night, I was running to catch the last train. She's like, Marshall, please stay. Please stay. So I gotta catch my last train. She's like, please stay. But I didn't see all that, so I'm like, I gotta go. I get on my thing, catch my last train, and she starts texting me. Oh, you should have stayed. You know, we always hanging out together, and you know you're special, and oh, we could have had a good time. And now I'm like, oh, I gotta get back. But it's the last train. So if I can go back, I would have stayed. Now things might have changed because of that. But what happened after that was, after that happened, and I'm like, yo, you were emailing me all that stuff. She's like, oh, it was nothing. And it got weird. It got weird. All right, and then I guess my last one would have to have been, let's see here. Last one. Oh, this one. This is one of my regrets. So my first school, this guy, I forget his name now, but he was a teacher, and it was my first year. I'm at his school, and he was so cool. He bought my old my laptop. I don't think he needed it, but he bought it. And I would hang out in his room. He would fall asleep. I would fall asleep. He would buy me McDonald's. He introduced me to some student that sang and arranged it so I could hear them sing. He helped me send my first demo to Sony, which was Asuimasen. Buy my CD, it's 1,000 yen. He took me. I brought my beat machine in. He had me teach the kids. He helped me buy my first Evisu things. So he was just super cool all around. When I had my girlfriend, we went to... Yeah, that kicks... Alright, I'll hold